Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. John on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro Fan.
What's up? What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's the word?
What's chilling, fellas? First and foremost, we wanted to, today is the big Mother's Day, man. So happy, I'm gonna say happy birthday. I'm like, happy Mother's Day. happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You know, my mother, your mother, Vlad's mother, all the mothers out there doing the right stuff. You know, taking care of their kids. You know, making sure their kids are good, man. Today's a special day, so happy Mother's Day.
Yes, absolutely. Big shout out to all the dope and beautiful moms out there and all the hardworking moms who, sacrificed a lot for their children to, bring them up in the best way they could and to, make them, good people and raise them the right way, especially our moms, and myself as well. So
that's right.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the good moms out there that hold it down for us day in and day out.
Yeah, Denise, happy Mother's Day. That's my mom.
Regina, happy Mother's Day. Yeah, that's my mom's name.
And Bernadette, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Shout out to all y'all. And without y'all, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, shout outs to my kid's mother too. Can't forget you. So happy Mother's Day. But other than Mother's Day, man, today is an even more special day. Today's not only Mother's Day. This guy right here next to me, B Money, he was born on Mother's Day on May 10th, man. Happy Mother's Day, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. It's a very special and, and great day. I'm truly blessed and grateful to, be here with you guys to be able to record an episode on my birthday and to, just be alive and be in good health and be happy and to, see that I made it another year and, have another year of life ahead. So I'm, very happy today. This day really means a lot to me since, as John said, I was born on this day, May 10th, 1992. So
damn, you're old.
Officially 28 years old. Should I ain't that old? I'm younger than y'all. Y'all are the old ones. I'm the young.
You didn't have to say all that. Just do.
Happy birthday, Barry.
What's up, Vlad?
Happy birthday.
Thank you, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, no, I'm still feeling good. Still feeling young. I don't feel like I'm aging quite yet. I'm still in my prime. So
you're good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm glad to be able to see another birthday, especially with the situation that we're all in. And definitely, I appreciate it even more, than the previous years. So
that's right, man. Coronavirus. A lot of people actually complain that their birthday is during this time, but at least you're happy about it. It's another year, so it's special, man. It's still special. Regardless what you're doing, where you're at, whatever pandemic we're going through, man. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. And again, man, happy Mother's Day. With Barry's birthday being today, we wanted to actually introduce a new segment to the show that we're going to be doing a bit often, come the season, when the season comes. We're going to actually do the B Money Lifestyle of the Week. And Barry, you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so the B Money Lifestyle of the Week is pretty much one episode per week. I'm gonna pick the person who has been living the B Money Lifestyle the most. So I figured since it's only right and it's fitting that it's my birthday today, we introduce and we start this segment on this very day. And I believe the person that I will get to choose and nominate as the B Money Lifestyle Athlete of the Week would be no other than myself.
Yeah.
Mr. B Money Lifestyle
B
himself.
Money Lifestyle, the birthday.
So
We got a toast to that right there, boy.
Yes, sir. Cheers, my brother.
Vlad, I know you ain't with us
bro.
right now.
Right.
Cheers,
virtual
bro.
Cheers. There you go.
Let's get it.
So, yeah, it's definitely figured I'd pick myself for the wood since I have been living the buddy lifestyle this week, especially this weekend. All of a sudden, right. That definitely was, been living it up the last 2 days for sure. So it's been pretty great and pretty awesome, and looking forward to continuing to do that.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So that's gonna be one of the segments that we do is the B Money lifestyle. Again, like Barry says, is somebody that he feels like is living the B Money lifestyle, doing positive things out there. It could be a play at 5 TD week or something, or it could be somebody that's doing crazy things off the field. You never know. So that B Money lifestyle, look for it. We're going to be doing it on a weekly basis.
Yes, sir. Facts.
Other than that, we want to introduce some other segments, actually. So we would like to start an email section on the podcast. Right, we will read one email from our listeners to discuss on the podcast. So please email us at profansports1@gmail.com. Again, the email is profansports1@gmail.com. So every week we're gonna try to get on and read an email from one of our listeners and try to discuss the topic right on air while we're doing it. Just getting our raw reaction to whatever you're asking. So just help us out and send us some questions, through our email. If you're not on email, if you're not an email person, you could also send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Barry will get back at you as soon as he can.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So with that said, if you're not following us on social media, follow us on social media. Instagram, profans_sports. Twitter is twitter.com/profans, facebook.com/profansports, twitter.com/profansports too. So it's basically Profan Sports everywhere. Follow us and also subscribe to us on YouTube, right? We're trying to get our subscribers up and making sure that you guys are getting the content from our podcasting platforms, as well as getting the videos that we got going on. We're trying to grow the channel, grow our brand as a team, as Profan Sports Podcast. So we're going to need your help out there. And if you're on Anchor, there's actually a donate button too. If you feel like giving us anything, $1, $2, whatever, just go up there and donate if you feel like it. Whatever you do is appreciated. So thank you so much. All right. So let's just get into the week, man.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
We did a show a couple weeks ago. We discussed the draft, and that show was probably our longest show.
I think this one's going to beat that for sure.
It could.
Possibly. Yeah, right. It has the potential.
We'll try to get it out to you as quick as possible, but the NFL schedule came out this week.
Ooh, yes, sure did.
Yeah. You guys got a chance to see it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Any surprises?
No surprises for me. I went through the schedule and I highlighted a couple games each week that I feel as though is the best games that I'll be looking for this week. Yep. And the Patriots did not make my list at all.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the schedule, based on the games that were happening every week, some of the big games, the Patriots were just not involved, just because the Patriots, after losing Brady, is just you instead of being up there as like the team that you want to watch, it becomes down here. I mean, as a fan, obviously, I'm looking forward to the Patriots game. But as an NFL, like as an unbiased opinion, the Patriots didn't make my list in terms of, okay, these are the games that you have to watch on a weekly basis. But there are a lot of really, really good games. Brady's gonna play Breeze twice this year. He's gonna play Aaron Rodgers this year. So there's a lot of really, really good games I'm looking forward to. We can go into them once you guys give your piece.
Yeah. Barry, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't really surprised for the most part, but then I just saw and noticed something that apparently the Patriots and the Bucks aren't playing at the same time until December. That's a pretty big coincidence, and
I don't think so.
you know, and kind of odd that the NFL made the schedule like, you know, in that way. But I feel like at the same time they probably did that for a reason and knew what they were doing. I think from, you know, a standpoint of, you know, an NFL fan, I think you're right, Glad, that the Patriots aren't really like on too many of the marquee, you know, matchups, even though they are playing some, you know, really good and tough teams that, you know, have the toughest schedule in the NFL this year. You know, that with the highest strength of schedule based on the record from last year. So it's definitely going to be pretty tough, you know, season for them coming up. They certainly, you know, have some tough road games that, you know, they're going to be playing, you know, as well as, you know, home games too. You know, so I was just going to say, but there's definitely other, you know, games that I'm, you know, looking forward to, like for what Vlad said with the, you know, Drew Brees and Tom Brady week 1 right off the bat, going at it in against each other to start the season. That's definitely, you know, one of the top games on my list for this season, and one that I'm really excited about and will be glued to the TV every second, won't even miss a play or like go to the bathroom or anything like that. Will, you know, I'll be locked in and laser focused, as TV12 says. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those guys play twice a year. Now looking forward to seeing Brady play Patrick Mahomes this year as well. So, and obviously Aaron Rodgers too. Looking forward to seeing, you know, the teams that did well last year, if they can sustain that and be, you know, consistent and kind of keep that going. You know, like the, you know, younger teams like the Baltimore Ravens, you know, with, you know, Lamar Jackson, you know, now that it's year 2, because we all know that, you know, year 2 is one of the toughest years for a quarterback, just because now that there's a good amount of film on you and teams now can adjust and, you know, game plan, you know, against you better now that there's more, you know, film and game tape for them to use. They can come up with a better, you know, strategy as far as how to stop. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those teams like the Ravens and the 49ers, how if they can continue to, you know, with that success that they had, you know, last year, if they can keep that going and go further than they did, you know, last year. I know obviously the 49ers went pretty far, and, you know, Jimmy G did pretty well. They had a strong running game, and their, you know, defense was, I think, probably the best in the league, or right up there with the elite defenses. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do this upcoming season, and how, you know, Jimmy G does again this year. He'll be actually coming to Foxborough on October 20th. His homecoming. You know, when the 49ers do play the, you know, Patriots at Gillette. So I'm definitely excited and looking forward to that game. That would be nice to see, you know, Jimmy G back in New England once again. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, Belichick will be happy to see him, since that's his guy and he's a big Jimmy G fan. So I'm sure Belichick has that date circled on his calendar.
My boy's coming back.
Big games, right. My guy Jimmy G's gonna be back.
That's my quarterback.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, I was just gonna say that it was surprising that the Patriots had 5 primetime games this year. That's certainly one of my surprises because, like we just said, there's a lot more teams that, you know, the NFL fans, I'm sure, are interested in seeing and, you know, watching play than, you know, the New England Patriots, you know, due to what they lost in free agency this offseason.
Obviously.
But I feel like Patriots, not only Patriots fans, but I'm sure there's certain people that want to see, okay, how do the Patriots do without Tom Brady? Since this is a new era, like, are they going to fall off a cliff?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And stuff. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. John, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Barry had a lot of thoughts on the schedule, and he's been probably losing sleep over it. No, I definitely thought the schedule was definitely very, very interesting to me. I think it's interesting that the Patriots, as soon as you posted that on Facebook, when you posted it, you're like, what do you think about the schedule? I'm like, that's a tough schedule.
It is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the schedule didn't come out yet. That was like a preliminary thing that he posted it. He's like, this could be the schedule. It you know, that's what they're saying. But the schedule comes out the next day. And when it came out, it was pretty much the same. And I'm like, that's a tough schedule, right? So that's one thing that jumped off to me. That's something that jumped up at me when I seen the Patriots schedule. Then I've seen other people's schedule too, and things are pretty odd to me. The NFL definitely does stuff on purpose, right? If you think about it, when was the last time the Patriots had the toughest schedule?
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we talked about the Patriots having a tough schedule, right? And Tom Brady's been here the whole time.
Yep, for the last 20 years.
Boom, he's gone. We got the toughest schedule. Okay, that's interesting. And then you go to Tampa Bay's schedule, they're just like right in the middle, near the middle. Right. You know, as far as like based off of how the teams performed last year, that's what we're based off of. Mm-hmm. So it looked like, okay, so Brady's in the middle of the pack again. And then you look even more into the Buccaneers schedule. Brady has a bunch of dome games. Like to end the season, like within the season, he has a bunch of dome games. And I'm like, that's very, very interesting. That's really interesting. You know,
I think y'all are reading too much into it.
Okay, all right. So we're reading too much into it. How come the Patriots and the Buccaneers only have 2 games that overlap with each other, right? You know when those games are?
No, when are those games?
That's like week 14, 15. Nobody's watching these shits.
What?
Exactly. That's the only time the Patriots and the Buccaneers have overlapping schedule, because we know that the teams have pretty much secured their seeding for the year when that time comes, and that's when they start resting starters. Okay? And, you know, guess who's
you're only resting starters if your place in the playoff is solidified and you already have week 1 you already have the first bye secured.
Okay, so who does Vegas have winning the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Who do they have winning the Super Bowl?
The Bucks, man. They're like up there as far as odds. Okay, so like if you get what I'm trying to say here, like, so you're telling me these guys have one of the top offenses on paper already. You're projecting them to win all these games because they're going to be so good. They have an upcoming defense. They've added weapons. They've added Brady. Okay. Why? I don't understand how they have, you know, their schedule. You know, I'm not saying, you know, somebody deliberately did that, but I'm saying somebody deliberately.
But the schedule is not random. The schedule is based on wins last year. It's based on your conference, and it's based on the top, whoever finished top based on the other conferences.
Okay, so how come Baltimore Ravens have the weakest schedule in the league?
Yeah, but it's not random. It's based like there are teams you play every year, which are the teams in your division. There are teams that you play every 4 years, which are the teams that are on. If you're an AFC team versus an NFC team, it's not random. It's just it's based on every year. It's based on whoever has the most wins, where you place from the year before.
Yeah, I know it's not random. It's definitely not random. Okay, Patriots have 5 primetime games, and then the Bucks have 5 primetime games too. You know, the last time that happened, the Bucks won the Super Bowl. So,
Really?
like, it's definitely not random. Like, these guys are placing these things, and they're putting them in the right position to get the most views. Because, like, if Patriots games are not overlapping with Buccaneers, guess who's watching the Patriots games and the Buccaneers games?
The Patriots fans.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that's more views for the NFL.
So I'm going to agree with you that the NFL does place the games in different times so that Patriots fans and the NFL fans can watch both Brady with the Bucks and the Patriots without Brady. I'm going to agree with you as far as that goes. But as far as what teams you play, that's not random. That's like that's a very predictive thing. Like, I could have predicted what team we would have played this year. The only thing I could have predicted is when we're playing them, what week we're playing them.
The order.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're gonna go ahead.
So I think you're right. I'm sure that the NFL is a business, so they're gonna position their business. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
The NFL is gonna position their business in a way that they were gonna make the most money. So whichever way they can position their schedule so that people can watch the most games, they can have the most views for the most games, they're gonna do that. But as far as what teams they're gonna play, I mean, I think even if Brady was with the Patriots, we would have still had a tough schedule.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because Brady was with us in our schedule. Everybody, every season, they're like, oh, the Patriots have a cakewalk schedule. You know what I'm saying? Even last year, they were saying that. You know,
one of the reasons.
Were we coming off a Super Bowl?
We were Super Bowl champs last year, but also I was just gonna say, even this year, had Tom Brady stayed, I still think the Patriots would have had a tough schedule, because I know people last year were saying that, oh, the Patriots' schedule for next year, for the 2020 season, is going to be tough, because they're going to be playing not only the AFC West, but they're also going to be playing the NFC West. And those divisions are definitely going to be much better this year than what they were last year. And there's some tough games and tough opponents in each one of those divisions. So even if Tom Brady was here, the Patriots would have still regardlessly had a tough schedule based on the opponents in the divisions that they were going to be playing this upcoming season.
Well, I feel like they complain about the schedules, you know, the Patriots schedule being easy.
Too easy, right? No, I
we did have Tom Brady, right?
That's one of the reasons that made it easier, is that you could have said, okay, this team is not good anymore because Brady is always going to be there. Brady is going to beat them. But I feel like so this year, even if Brady was there, we would have still had those same teams, and the schedule would have still been difficult.
Right, facts. I agree with that.
But the only thing I'm going to agree with you, John, is I'm going to agree that the NFL positioned the games in a way that people can watch Brady and watch the Patriots at the same time.
Yep, for sure. And I definitely do other things on purpose too, but we're gonna agree to disagree on that one. I'm just like, these guys are not slick, man. You guys are not slick, okay? Like, we know what's going on. You guys want to bury Bill Belichick, all right? Bury the Patriots. You know, I don't know. And Tom Brady's the face of the NFL, man. So, like, why wouldn't you want to put him
You still think he is the face of the NFL now?
Yes, brother. Like, there's a guy that unretired because of this guy.
Also threw 30 interceptions last year.
Exactly, but still, man, it's like Tom Brady's the face of the NFL, man. Like, everything, their Super Bowl odds have shifted greatly from last year to this year.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, you're not gonna get that other than Tom Brady or like a Patrick Mahomes, you know, or maybe a Aaron Rodgers. You know, you put them on other teams and instantly, you know, they're like Super Bowl favorites. So, those are my thoughts on it. But did you guys think about? Do you guys agree that the Patriots have the toughest schedule, or do you guys think there's other teams that could make an argument for that?
I think the Patriots has one of the toughest schedules. That's for sure.
Based on how the team's constructed now, right?
Yeah, based on the winning percentage of the teams last year, I think, and I went through the Patriots schedule and I listed the teams that I kind of like did a little bit of which games they're gonna win, which games they're gonna lose, and it's not looking good. I know we're gonna do a Patriot prediction later in the show, so I won't give it away.
Let's not even do it later. Let's just go right into it.
You wanna go right into it?
I mean, why not? That's the next thing on our agenda anyway. Patriots game predictions. Since do you agree that the Patriots have the toughest schedule in the league?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got your opinion on that. So we're gonna go straight into the Patriots' actual schedule. Actually, I was gonna go into the preseason stuff, but I'm just like, nah. Those games don't matter.
Well, the preseason might actually be important.
It could be important this year. It will be important this year, but for the sake of time, it's just not going through them. But we do play the same teams that we play every freaking preseason, which are the Detroit Lions, Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Giants, which is always our last game for some reason, or for as long as I can remember for the last few years, it's been that. So,
yeah, no, definitely in recent years have always had that.
I mean, would you guys like to talk about the preseason? You guys, since you guys believe this is, I believe it's going to be an important preseason for us too.
I think the preseason is going to be important this year because Brady is not here. Yep. And also, it's a new team. We have a lot of new faces on defense. The offense is going to look different with Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham needs to get some practice in to get used to his new receivers, get better. So I think in terms of that, I think the preseason is important. But as far as like meaningful, we know we're not like it's not like the preseason is going to impact what we're going to look like in the regular season. But as far as like what is this new team, this post-era New England Patriots, what does it look like? I think the preseason is gonna give us an idea of who's gonna rise up, who's gonna be the next guys to step up and be the face of the team.
Okay, how about we do this, right? So we play Detroit Lions, Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Giants.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing what we know now, right? Out of those 4 games, we play the preseason. What's our record at the end of preseason?
I say 2-2. Yeah, I think the preseason record is like it's so not meaningful at all.
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know, like, what do you predict, like, in the preseason? Out of those 4 games, how many out of those 4 games we win? So
I'm gonna say 2-2 because I feel like Belichick is gonna put Jarrett Stidham in, then he's gonna have to put Brian Hoyer, then he's gonna have to put the 2 undrafted. I think it's gonna be hard to like win every game. I think he's gonna try to put in so many different players to see what they can do that we probably lose most of those games.
Okay. Yeah. Barry, what do you think's the record at the end?
I can see either a 2-2 or 1-3 record for the preseason.
1-3. Okay. I'm gonna say
just because there's gonna be a lot of young players and young talent that are inexperienced and that haven't played much in the NFL that are gonna be playing and getting most of the snaps on offense and defense. So I just feel like it's gonna take them a little bit of time to actually be able to to play well and to prove that they're worth being on the team and on the Patriots. So I can see them struggling out of the gate in the preseason.
Okay, I'm gonna say the preseason they end up 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Really?
And I think they.
How do you see that?
I think they may lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, Detroit Lions. What about them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're just like a middle of the road team, right? And I think coaching matters a lot. And I think I'm saying 3-1 because our players, it's a different vibe, it's a different team, it's a different quarterback. And I feel like they're gonna play hard in the preseason too, just to like get that chemistry up, especially not having all this practice time, especially not having all this training camp and stuff like that. Guys are gonna, want to be on the same page and things like that. And I think Jared Stidham, because he should play most of the preseason if we're gonna start him. I think if he starts most of the preseason, then we go 3-1. That's my opinion. I think coaching matters. I think New York Giants has a new coach, who
Joe Judge came from us. Here, right?
Okay. I think Detroit Lions, I don't trust them. I think Carolina Panthers has a new coach, new quarterback, a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. They're looking good for this year.
They'll
beat the Pats.
I don't know if they're gonna even start McCaffrey, right?
Now he'll play a little bit.
You think it's the second game? You think McCaffrey's gonna play in the second game?
Yeah, he'll play a little bit.
What, a couple snaps? Remember, they'll get like 5 snaps. They'll get like 5 snaps.
He'll be on the field. He'll get some run.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I see. That's my prediction. 3-1.
I think, John, I don't think you're looking at the preseason the right way. I think when it comes to the preseason, it doesn't matter how good the team is or who's good or who's not good, because in the preseason you're just trying to see which players are playing hard that I want on my team. So Belichick is not gonna care about winning. Stidham is gonna play he's gonna play a good amount of snaps in the first game and maybe in the second game. But after that, Belichick has to give the other quarterbacks a chance to play as well, and all the other players on defense, all the players on offense. I think he's not gonna care about the end goal of those games. That he's gonna try to get as many players to play as much as possible. That's why 3-1, I don't see it. I definitely see us having a losing record in the preseason.
I mean, I see what you're saying as far as like the preseason. Come on, nobody's going hard in the preseason. But I think for us, the preseason is definitely different, and it's going to have a little more weight to it than it usually does, since this is basically it's not really a brand new team. We have a brand new quarterback. Just to see, we have a brand new quarterback who's going to be fired up, to get his name out there. Right. And then you have Hoyer, who's definitely going to be competing because that's what we do. And then I like the new kid, Jamar Smith, man. I've been doing a lot of homework on him. That kid looks good. He has a lot of the prototypical black quarterback issues that, he's a runner. Oh, he's not that accurate. The things they usually label black quarterbacks as. But looking at him, looking at his highlights, I like him. I like his ability and things like that. And there's another kid we're not even talking about. I haven't even done any research on the other quarterback. Yeah.
Right.
Where's he from?
Michigan State.
Michigan State?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we got a few guys that are going to be trying to make the team, but I mean,
we'll see how long they even keep those guys for.
Preseason don't matter. So that was just our predictions. So let's move on to the actual season. First week, we get a revenge game against the Dolphins.
That's a win for me.
That's a win for you, Barry.
For the Pats? They'll win that game.
They win that game? Okay. Quick reason why, Vlad.
They're at home. The Patriots are at home. I'm going to give them a win.
Okay. Barry, quick reason?
I feel like, it's the, season opener, home opener. They'll be fired up and, ready to play. And, and that'll be, Jared Stidham's debut. So I feel as if that, the team will definitely, play a little bit better than Miami to win, but it'll be a close game.
Okay. I think we win too. And I think it's because, Bill Belichick doesn't lose to his predecessors, more than once in a row. You know what I'm saying? That usually doesn't happen. And I think there's definitely going to be a revenge factor there from last year's debacle. Okay. Second game, September 20th against the Seahawks.
Lost.
Yep, definitely a loss.
Yep. If we win this, it would be crazy if we won this. All right. Let's just say that right now. Okay. Because you got a team that's coming off the playoffs last year, you know, has one of the top quarterbacks in the league, right? And they're getting healthier this year. So, and they have a good coach, you know, so that's usually a recipe for disaster for us. September 27th against the Raiders.
Win.
Yeah, they'll beat the Raiders.
Okay. Why?
I think the Patriots are going to be at home again, and the Raiders are a really new team. They're going to have to figure out their offense. Their defense is not that good. I just think Belichick's being the coach. I think that gives us an advantage.
Okay. Barry?
Yeah, I feel like the Raiders are kind of in a similar situation than us in terms of them like rebuilding and still trying to, you know, refine their identity and who they are as a team. And, you know, they're a lot, I feel like, newer than us in terms of, you know, the roster. So I feel like they're still going to be that early in the season trying to figure some things out. And so, I mean, as well as we are, but I still feel like particularly for West Coast teams traveling across the country to the East Coast, those games are the toughest, you know, road games for them, and it'll be tough for them to fly across the country and play here and beat the Patriots, especially with, you know, the time zones as well, and it being a much, you know, earlier game for them than, you know, what they're used to. So I feel like that Pats definitely have the edge in that matchup.
Okay, I like that. I pick him to win too, simply because I don't trust Derek Carr. Okay, that's it. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah, me either.
All right,
or Mariota.
I don't trust that guy. You know, but they did get some weapons. Jerry Judry.
Yeah, the kid from Alabama.
I like that kid a lot.
Yes. They got like 3 receivers
in the
draft or something like that. Yeah,
they move it.
They loaded up.
All right. Well, I mean, they got to keep up with the next opponent that we're going to be facing, the Chiefs.
Definitely a loss.
That's a loss for me. I think Super Bowl winners come into Gillette. When Brady was a quarterback, it was always a tough game. And now that Brady's not here, I don't think Stidham is going to be able to keep up with this Chiefs offense.
Man, I would be floored if we win that game. Okay? Like, I think that would be our Super Bowl for the year if we win that game. For this year anyway. Okay? Next, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, it's a loss.
Okay.
I don't need much explanation on that game as far as why it would be a loss. I think that kind of goes without saying. Right.
Yeah, don't kid yourself. Next one, October 11th, they play the Broncos. Drew Lock and his new weapons out there. Who
do they play at Denver or New England?
Not sure.
We play in New England.
We play in New England?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna give us a win.
Okay, yeah, we do play in New England.
Yeah.
So the Broncos week 5?
Yep.
Yes.
Week 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna give us a win. I just think the Broncos are also in the rebuilding stage with a new quarterback. They're traveling to New England. If we were going to Denver, it would have been a different question. But since they're traveling to New England, I think Belichick is gonna find a way to neutralize Drew Lock and have the Jets and then win that game. Rookie quarterbacks don't do that well against Bill Belichick.
Not rookie.
Yeah, he isn't a rookie. He's a second guy.
My fault. But yeah, I just don't think Belichick is gonna let him win.
Well, this would be actually his first season being the starter since Flacco was the starter last year.
Yeah,
I think that's where I was coming from.
As the starter,
I actually like him.
Drew Lock? Yeah, no, me too. I think Drew Lock can play.
You guys see him rapping that Jeezy?
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like,
no way. He was actually rapping? I didn't
No, he was like rapping bar for bar. I'm like, that kid, he's invited to the barbecue. No, but I like that though. He got some swag. I like him.
Word. I didn't know he had bars like that.
He got some swag too.
He was that hit living the
What do you guys have winning that game?
I think they'll lose that game to the Broncos. I think we're losing to the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to be better this year. They got a pretty good offense. They loaded up and got some good pieces offensively to put around Drew Lock. I still think their defense is pretty good and can play for sure. And they'll be a much better unit this year. Led by Von Miller, one of the best defensive players in the game without question. So I think that's going to be a really tough game, and that'll be one of the games that Stidham will probably struggle and have a really hard time with going against that Bronco defense. So I'll give the Broncos a win on that.
Okay. I think this is one of those games that you can't really tell, you can't really predict. You know what I'm saying? Just because we do have a new quarterback. Stidham got to look over to the line of scrimmage and see big Von Miller over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the other boy on the other side too. So they do got a really good defense. And it's definitely we're going to be in Gillette. You don't lose too many games in Gillette. But that also that's because Brady was here. So I don't know what that's going to be like. But since we're going to be at home, I'm going to give them the win just because we're at home. That's it.
All right.
Week 6 is actually a bye week. So we don't play.
An early bye.
That's the other interesting thing.
Early bye week.
Do you know the last time we had an early bye week in the first half of the season? You guys remember the season?
2014?
2015. Okay. And we had crazy injuries throughout the season. That was the season, I think, Julian Edelman broke his leg or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. We had a lot of injuries, and that was the last time we had a bye week, like in the first half of the year. So when I seen we had a bye week in week 6, that's another one of those moments I was like, yo, the NFL's trying to screw the Patriots. Like, I swear, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't even see it that way because I like the early bye week. It doesn't bother me, the early bye week. The early bye week means, as a fan, as a Patriots fan, I just think get it out of the way. I want to see the Patriots play. I hate the Sunday where we have a bye week because I have to look for some other game to watch. It doesn't bother me. I always liked it when we had an early bye week.
I like later bye weeks just because of the team health. Okay, we do have veterans.
Yeah.
These, when you get banged up and it's later on in the year and you can get that break, let's say like a week 10, a week 11, mm-hmm. that, there's a few more games left that re-energizes you. You go to the bye in week 6, you got 10 more weeks left, man. Okay, and that, I feel like that could be draining. Obviously, the other teams that have bye weeks, early bye weeks, so they're going to have to deal with the same things. But that was one of those other things. When I seen it, I was like, the league has it out for the Patriots this year, for sure. That was my thought on it.
I don't buy into those conspiracy theories.
That likes the government. I don't like it. I think they be lying.
Oh, man. But I'm with you, John, on that I do like the later, bye weeks. I don't like them too early.
Yeah.
Because then when it is too early, I feel like, towards the end of the season, you don't really have that time to rest and heal up and and recover from injuries is as much as you would if you had the later bye week. And also I can see that it's a little okay to get it over with in the end of the season, from a fan perspective, but also I like it, later in the year, just because, kind of John said, the veterans and the older players on the roster need it. We have, quite a few, veterans that have, played, a while. We have some mileage on them, and have certainly, would need that, later bye week as opposed to earlier about it. The young players won't really affect them because they're young. They haven't played that much. They just, it's early in their careers. But, guys that do play a lot of snaps and get used a lot, on the field will certainly be most affected by this. So I wasn't too happy when I saw that they have a week 6 bye week. I always wanted at least in the second half of the season, like week 9, week 10, I feel like that's the, kind of more ideal sort of place to have a bye week and be able to, get the, and kind of refresh and get them, the team right, for the second half of the season. But, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes we have early bye weeks, sometimes we have later. It changes every year. So we just got to do our best, to get through it and to, be able to keep those guys fresh for later in the season.
Another thought I had from the week 6 bye week, because, with us in the past getting like the later bye weeks, week 10, week 11, week 12, whatever it usually is, then you get week 14, 15, 16, you can rest your starters even more. So I thought, is this the NFL telling us that, hey, they don't think we're going to make the playoffs, so we don't need that later bye week?
Nah, I disagree, John, because I disagree because in 2014, when we won the Super Bowl, we had an early bye week, and it didn't affect us. I don't think the bye week affect us in a way that it will either make us make the playoff or make us miss the playoff. I think week 6, I don't know. I'm really fine with it. I don't see any problem with it at all.
I think 2014 we had a really healthy team, a really healthy big team too.
Yeah.
I don't think the bye week. I don't think we needed the bye week as much as we've needed it in the recent memories. But let's move on, right? So we do have the bye week 6, and then we got the old boy coming home to Gillette Stadium, Jimmy G, San Francisco, 13-3 last year. Who wins?
That's a loss. That's another loss. This game is gonna be at Gillette Stadium. We don't lose a lot of game at Gillette Stadium, so it should be a win. But this is gonna be a loss because our team is not as good. The 49ers offense is unbelievable. They're gonna run the ball on our defense like crazy. I don't see us winning that game, even by luck. I think.
I like that one, Vlad.
I think the 49ers will take that game.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Vlad on that. That I don't see the Pats upsetting and beating the 49ers, regardless of home or away. The 49ers are a Super Bowl contending team, and the Patriots are far, far from, being at the level of the 49ers. I think the Niners are one of the more complete teams in the league. They can travel well. I know, like I was saying earlier, that West Coast teams have a tougher time on the East Coast, but I feel like the 49ers, with them being able to run the football as well as they do, having, the best running game in the league and also have one of the better defenses. Those two things, as we know, travel well in the NFL. If you're able to do those two things, you can pretty much win any game and have a chance to beat anybody. And I just feel like the 49ers will definitely be a little bit too much for the Pats on for that game.
Even off of bye week?
Yeah, even coming off a bye week. I get that when you give Bill Belichick and the Patriots an extra week to prepare, usually for the most part, the Patriots have the edge in that matchup and usually win those games coming off the bye week more times than not. But I just feel like the 49ers are too superior to the Patriots as of right now. That I don't think they can really match up well with the talent they have on both sides of the ball. I think that our defense is probably, like Vlad said, they're probably going to run it down our throats and be very successful doing that in this game. And then I also think George Kittle will give us some problems as well. And, you know, Jimmy G's definitely going to do his thing. He's going to want to shout and ball out that game and prove to the Patriots that, yeah, you guys shouldn't have traded me. You should have kept me. I should be the quarterback for you guys. Now, I think he's going to have something to prove and a chip on his shoulder in that game. So I can see him playing really well. And then, you know, we already know about their defense and how strong it is on every level. So I think Stidham's going to have another tough game, guys. I see Jared Stidham having a really tough early part of the season with you know, the defenses and the teams that we're going to go against. And this will definitely be one of the games where he really struggles and, you know, and really has some rough stretches.
Yeah. I picked the 49ers to beat us last year. I'm not going to be different this year. It's like last year, the way we looked, I know we won 12 games, but we didn't really look good doing it. Our defense looked great. Don't get me wrong, our defense looked great, but on offense, it was just like, man, something's really wrong. And with the defense they had last year, that team is stacked, man. So we lose. We definitely lose. Next one, we got another predicted contender and a divisional rival too. We're at Buffalo Bills. Who wins the game?
The Bills win that game because we are at Buffalo, and Buffalo is a really hard place to play. Brady had a lot of wins in Buffalo, but those games were always close games, and yep. Brady always found a way to come out on top. Even though he did lose a couple of games up there, but he has a good record up there. But like we said, we're gonna keep saying this probably throughout the whole season. Brady's not here. The Bills are gonna come and they're gonna beat the Patriots at home.
Okay, Barry.
So yeah, I'd agree with Vlad. Another loss for the New England Patriots. The Bills will win this game. I was actually at that game last year when the Pats played the Bills in Buffalo, and I will again also be at that game this year as well. If
you're allowed,
are fans allowed, but even if they're not, I'm still gonna go over there and link up with my people over there. I got some people.
He's gonna be outside the stadium.
In Buffalo, I'm gonna probably head to a bar or something, or maybe like watch it at the hotel with my people over there. So yeah, shout out to my Buffalo family out there. I'm definitely looking forward to being at that game or being in Buffalo for that weekend. It'll definitely be a fun and awesome weekend. But
yeah,
getting back to the game, I think the Bills are pretty much the best team in the division, and it's their, they're pretty much gonna be, better this year. I think that they're, made some good moves and, and will improve on, both sides of the ball. And we already knew that defensively they were very good. They held the Patriots to only 16 points and only one offensive touchdown. They only pretty much had one good drive that game. I know the other touchdown they had was on special teams, with the punt block and Slater recovering it. But I certainly think that, it's one of the, the tougher places to play. That crowd is rowdy. Bills Mafia, like what you guys hear about Bills Mafia, I can confirm it's true. And then some. Like those guys are rowdy and wild and crazy, and that's a pretty loud stadium and place for any road team to play. So I think the Patriots will unfortunately come up short and be on the losing end on that game.
Yeah, come what is that, week 8?
Yes, we get some right at the halfway point of the season.
Come week 8, you might catch Barry living a B-Money lifestyle.
I will be living the B-Money lifestyle that weekend. But that's definitely facts and gonna happen. That would be a B-Money lifestyle kind of weekend, especially since it'll be Halloween too. So
yeah, he might break a few tables out there. So watch out for that.
For Bills Mafia, right.
I think for me, listen, I think this year, I don't know. I look at the Patriots kind of like I do the Bills last year. right? Because I feel like we're gonna run the ball a lot this year, you know, and I feel like Josh Allen's a quarterback that had some ability to run. He wasn't the most accurate quarterback. You know, I'm gonna do a hot take, and I'm gonna say I don't know if he's much better than Jarrett Stidham. You know, that's my take on it. So coming out, I think Jarrett Stidham's way more accurate than he was coming out in college. So I just don't think he's that much different. And I think the identity for the Bills last year, I think we might have that identity, a team that's tough and that's going to run the ball majority of the time. And, you know, the quarterback goes in every now and then. And I think I'm going to pick this as a win just because I feel like I'm going to pick, you know, for our coaching to win some of these games. I don't think it's going to, you know, I think it's going to come down to coaching in some of these games. Right, it's not just gonna be Jarrett Stidham going out there doing this, that, and the third. I think, you know, football is a highly strategic game, and you know we know who's one of the best strategists out there, and that's Bill Belichick. You know, so I definitely pick them to win that game, but I definitely pick it to be a really close game, as it usually is. The next week we face another division rival in the Jets.
So before the podcast, I sat down and I went through the schedule and I listed all the wins and the losses. And on my notebook, I have that as a loss, but I think I'm gonna change it after just thinking about it. I'm gonna change it to a win, even though it's gonna be at the Jets, and that's the reason why I had it as a loss before. But I think I'm gonna change it to a win because it's the Jets, and they. I think I don't trust Adam Gase. I had a lot of respect for Adam Gase when he was with Denver, but after going to Miami and then moving to the Jets, the way he handled the whole team last year, I feel as though he's losing the team. Sort of. I don't think that the Jets are gonna be good. I'm gonna give us a hard, tough win on that one.
Yeah, I think they'll end their losing streak in this game, and they will win against the Jets. You know, even though probably will be close game, because as we know, division road games are pretty tough, and the toughest couldn't be the toughest games. But I think the Jets aren't really that good and aren't that much better than us, or at all, but better than us. So
they're better than us at all.
Right. I don't. I think they'll probably the worst team in the division, and and one of the worst teams in the league. So I think the Patriots will certainly find a way to win this game and pull one out in New York.
Yeah. Shoot, I don't trust Adam Gase, and I don't trust their quarterback either.
Oh, yeah, the one who was seeing so-called ghosts.
Yeah, he was seeing ghosts last year. And Sam Darnold, man, when he was coming out, I liked him as a prospect. Just seeing him play, how he carried himself. Good kid. I can't say, he's a bad person or anything like that. But he just doesn't look like a winner to me, right? So
yeah, and I think Jarrett Stidham is better than him. I'll take even Jarrett Stidham now over Sam Darnold. Yeah, I think Sam Darnold is trash. And
I heard Urban Meyer this week, and he was talking about Jarrett Stidham, and they asked him how's he think he's gonna do, and he said, I think that team is gonna make him a good player, right? Just based on listen, good quarterbacks that go into bad teams turn out to be bad quarterbacks because they're bad teams, bad coaches, bad offensive coordinators, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks that do well usually go to good teams. Good stable conditions, good coordinators, good organizations, and I think the Patriots definitely count as one of those. So I definitely don't see the New York Jets coming over here and doing what they think they're going to do. Next on the schedule is Baltimore Ravens, and I think we all will have the same answer.
Go ahead.
That's a loss. We lost to them. We lost to them last year. I think this year is going to be tough again. I am going to give credit to Bill Belichick for figuring out guys a couple, the second time he plays him, he's gonna try to have a better defense in place for Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be a game, but I think the Ravens come out and win this.
Yeah, I'd agree with Vlad on that prediction. I think the Ravens will, come out and win this game, even though I think that game is in Foxborough, home game for the Pats. I think that, the Ravens are, the better team and more superior on pretty much all three phases of the game. And I think that, the Patriots will have a really, tough time, winning this game and trying to keep up with, the Ravens. So, and I think even the Ravens will be better this year, especially since they were good last year. But I think certainly they'll, improve, with the moves that they've made. So I think, the Patriots will again lose another home game. I know they usually don't lose these many home games, but I just think that they, had playing tough opponents like the Ravens at home, unfortunately, is gonna, not gonna have as good of a home record. So yeah, okay. They'll lose this one.
Let's try to do it quick though. I definitely think we lose. Good quarterback, good coach, good scheme. Lamar Jackson's a beast. Running ability, escapability, everything, man. And I think it's his third year. It's going to be even better. Right. He's going to have even more vision. And I definitely agree that he might have a tougher time because people forget Jarrett Stidham is not the Patriots team. Like, he's the quarterback. He's not the whole team. We still have a good defense, right? And we still have good veteran players. We're still a talented team. We just don't have Tom Brady. That's basically it. And we have a few pieces that left, that we might have to figure out. But like the Patriots, don't kid yourself, they're still a good team. But I just think they're too many moving pieces to win against Baltimore. At Houston Texans.
That's a loss.
That's a loss?
That's a loss for me because I think what's the name of the quarterback? Why am I doing Deshaun Watson is gonna light it up.
Okay.
I think he has done it in the past, and Brady was able to keep up.
Yep.
But I don't think we're gonna be able to keep up this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, another loss, guys. Much as I hate the Houston Texans and can't stand them, and hate Bill O'Brien, and think he's doing a god-awful and horrendous job as the coach and the GM of the Texans. Yeah, he should definitely not be the GM anymore, but that's a different discussion for a different day. I'll just go as far as to say that I think Deshaun Watson playing at home in Houston will be a little bit too much. I get they lost DeAndre Hopkins, but I still think he has enough pieces around him that will be able to, help them, beat the Pats and get the W for that game.
Yeah, this is one of those games I'm going to pick the Patriots to win just off of coaching. And the fact that Houston has nobody left there. I don't know who. Yeah, they got Brandon Cooks.
They
I
got
don't really trust
Cobb.
them. Randall Cobb is old as hell.
But they have injury-prone David
Johnson. I don't fear him.
He may not even play in that game or last that long.
Yeah. And with Bill O'Brien running things, I don't know.
We don't think Deshaun Watson will be too much if he plays at a high level?
Hey, Jarrett Stidham is not the Patriots. Deshaun Watson is not the Texans. There's
you have a star quarterback like that.
We still have a good defense.
Can carry you and win you games.
Listen, we still have a good defense. We were holding people under 17 points.
Did you see what he did against that defense last year?
Deshaun Watson against us?
He put us and lit us up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he repeats that performance against us.
I'm going to go with Barry, man. I think it's going to be a really tough game.
It's going to be a tough game. I'm not saying it's not going to be a tough game. I'm saying we're going to win the game. This is a prediction thing. right? Who wins the game?
I think you're making great points about Stidham not being the team. There's a whole 52 other players on the team that are going to be playing. But
I don't think it's going to be in Stidham's hands to win these games. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you're making a great –
like, strategically, we're going to do a lot of things that will help us win games, you know, outside of Stidham. You know, hey, again, Stidham might not even be the guy that's playing in these. You know, it could be Brian Hoyer, right?
Yeah, could be. You never know, even though I don't want to see that happen and hope that doesn't happen. But, you know, it's certainly a possibility. We don't know who at that point in the season is going to be the Pats, you know, quarterback just yet.
For sure.
I think, like I was saying, I think you're making a great point about Stidham not being the main guy on the team and the guy on the team, and he's not the team. There's like 52 other players that are playing. I just think that on offense, we're going to struggle. And on offense, the Texans are going to be, you know, throwing it up and scoring like crazy. So I don't think we're going to be able to keep up.
Patriots have one of the best secondaries in the league.
We did last year, and Deshaun Watson lit us up.
Yeah, Hopkins lit us up.
And yeah, but Sean did his thing too. Like,
I'm just saying, like, the teams has changed, chemistry's changed with his number one receiver, who's probably going to be Brandon Cooks or the other young boy.
Will Fuller. They also have Will Fuller.
I love Will Fuller, but he's injury prone a lot.
But when he's healthy, he can ball.
Oh, he balls. He
can ball.
But again, I think we have one of the best secondaries still. Our secondary hasn't changed much, right? Other than Duran Harmon that got traded. We're still, you know, a pretty good secondary, and I don't know. I just think that's a game we can win. As far as like the games that we're going against like tough teams, I feel like this is one of the toughest teams we could win against. That's my thing.
No, I do give them a chance to win this game. I don't think it'll certainly be a blowout or, you know, or the Texans will like completely dominate the game. I think you're right that this game is one of the road games against like a playoff team or, you know, a team that had a winning record last year that we could, you know, win, you know, because of coaching and, you know, and decision making.
Right.
So I feel like definitely that will keep us in the game and give us a chance to win. But just like I said, feel like Deshaun Jackson will. I mean, not Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Excuse
you got
me for that. I think he'll just be a little bit too much. I get he doesn't have, you know, the weapons and talent he did last year, but I still think he'll, you know, play at a high level and, you know, and be good enough to, you know, beat the Pats that day. But I mean, I could be wrong. That secondary of the Pats is pretty good, especially, you know, with Gilly Lock and J.C. Jackson, who I like a lot as well. You know, and the McQuarrie twins and Chandler, pretty good back there. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see how that plays out.
Next, Arizona Cardinals at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, I think we win that. I think the Cardinals are a young team, young defense. I think we'll be able to win that game.
Okay.
Fortunately, I think that's a loss. The Cardinals' offense is gonna be, you know, one of the better offenses in the league. I like, you know, with D-Hop and Fitzgerald, and they got, you know, Christian Kirk, who's another good young and up-and-coming receiver. They got Kenyon Drake, who's a pretty solid running back, and, you know, with Kyle Murray having all those weapons at his disposal, I think, you know, that may be just a little bit too much for, you know, the Pats, you know, to try to, you know, stop all those guys. So I think that they'll definitely, you know, be a tough game for sure. And I think, you know, we'll be competitive and compete and keep it close, but I'll definitely give the Cardinals an edge and win on that one.
I'm actually going to agree with Barry, man. Like, I think the Cardinals are young, like you were saying, Vlad. But I think they're supremely talented with Kyler Murray, quarterback in that squad. I think the Patriots always struggle with teams that are new, that they don't face too often. And, they have new schemes too with Kingsbury, the head coach. He does some pretty elaborate stuff that I don't think we've seen before and that we're going to be ready for. So I think Cardinals take this one. And plus, they got D-Hop, man.
Yes, sir.
They just got D-Hop, and they still got the receiving core they had last year. So
right.
And they were good then too. The next game is at Los Angeles Chargers. I hate that. It's supposed to be San Diego.
Right. It still sounds so weird saying the Los Angeles Chargers. Right. Like it's supposed to be San Diego Chargers. Like that just doesn't sound right saying that. I hate that. That name, yeah, and that they're in LA for real, facts, right? We know you're not supposed to be in LA, and that's not where where the team is, and I feel like that's probably the reason why they have no fan base. But anyway,
that's right.
It still doesn't sound right to this day.
Yeah, I think that's a win for us. I just think I'm going to give that up to Bill Belichick. I think Bill Belichick, even though we're going to be away from the Chargers they don't have a great fan base out there in LA. And because of that, I think we're going to go out there and we're going to be able to win that game.
Yeah, we'll probably have more fans in the stands than they do.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually true and actually the case in most LA games and games that we do play in the West Coast against like the teams like the Chargers and the Rams. We usually do have a pretty good fan base, and most of the crowd is on the on the Patriots side.
Win or lose.
Win or lose, the Patriots win this game against the Chargers. Yeah, I think the Chargers have a pretty good offense, but I still feel confident in the coaching, and I don't think the Chargers will be that good, in terms of their overall team, play. I think certainly the Patriots will have a pretty good chance to win this game if they, execute it and do what they have to do.
I think the Patriots win. I don't trust Anthony Lynn.
Yeah.
I don't trust Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
I don't trust the new quarterback they got. Which
I like Tyrod. I like Tyrod.
I like Tyrod 5 years ago. It's
You're saying he's washed, he's trash, he can't play.
I'm saying like I don't have confidence in him anymore. He's been he's a career backup. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't trust that he's gonna be
he's most of a bridge quarterback.
Exactly. But like, listen, you're gonna warm the seat for maybe 4 or 5 games, and then they're probably gonna throw.
Well, I don't think it'll last the whole season. Wow.
No way.
Wow.
I don't think that's their plan. One, they just moved to Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, they just got there.
2, they lost their franchise quarterback. 3, Tyrod Taylor is not a franchise quarterback. And 4, they freaking drafted a kid top 10.
Yeah, this number 6 pick.
So you have no choice.
The only reason why I'm not gonna say Tyrod Taylor will start the season is because of the coronavirus.
Oh, he'll start the season.
No. Let me give my opinion.
Go ahead.
So I'm just saying that if the coronavirus wasn't happening, if we were in quarantine, and Herbert was gonna have the whole preseason to get to the whole rookie mini camp,
training camp, right?
Yeah, and all that. I don't even think Tyrod Taylor would have started. I just don't have no confidence in Tyrod Taylor at all.
I don't think you got me surprised. You guys really don't think this guy can play.
I like Tyrod Taylor 5 years ago. Okay, I'm just only person that's done anything as a backup and came back and did anything was Nick Foles, and he only played 6 games and won the Super Bowl. You know,
but he has the talent around him to be successful in LA with the receiving core that they have and the running backs that they have. So I think Tyrod Taylor can have some success down there.
Yeah.
With the weapons that he has at his disposal.
He definitely has good weapons.
He's set up to be successful. I don't think he'll be a buzz. He'll have to be really, really, really bad in order for him to just like absolutely be a bust. And
I'm not saying he's terrible.
Job.
I'm not saying it's
terrible.
But
that's what it seems like you and Vlad is saying.
No. I'm just saying I don't trust him. I'm saying like he's not the guy. You know,
I'm not saying that
he's not the guy.
Of course, I know he's not a franchise guy and not going to be the starter long term.
You were talking about film earlier. I think we have enough film of Tyrod Taylor to figure that out. And I don't know. Again, it goes back to a lot of coaching, which we have, man. You know, a lot of these games are sometimes these games are won by coaching. And I think, unfortunately, like when you face a team, like coaching is very big, and I think we have the best group of coaches when it comes to that matchup right there. So let's move on, though. Again, we're gonna play, as we usually do. Man, the end of the schedule is kind of crazy. We play Miami Dolphins.
No, we play the Rams.
No, Rams, I skipped it. We play the Rams.
When we have back-to-back games in LA.
Yes. Right. My bad. I skipped it. We play the Rams. What do you say, Vlad?
I think we win that game. I think the Rams – I don't trust the Rams anymore. I think they made it to the Super Bowl, and I think they've been declining since. And I don't trust Jared Goff at all. They don't have Tyrod Taylor anymore. I'm not sure exactly who they – I don't remember exactly who they drafted to the draft. But I just don't see us losing to the Rams.
I'll give us a win on this one. I think we have a successful LA trip and win both games in LA. I think the Rams aren't the same team they were a couple years ago when we played them in the Super Bowl, and they're not getting better. I feel as if the guys that are there are kind of getting worse, and they've also lost some guys like Todd Gurley and Dante Fowler. Both went to the Falcons, so I think those are definitely big losses for that team. And I think that even though they still are strong defensively, they have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, two of the better defensive players in the league. I still feel like the Patriots have a good chance to win this game. And, I like Sean McVay a lot too. Big shout out to him, one of the best young coaches there. He's a beast for sure, and a great offensive football mind. But I still think the Patriots will find a way to win this game.
Yeah, actually, there's a freaking pesky bird somewhere that keeps chirping. So if it's on the recording, we apologize.
Yeah, right.
I need a BB gun or something. But yeah, for real, just pow.
Right. That would put that thing right.
I think this is actually the one game that we're all gonna agree on. Well, actually, we agreed on the first game too.
Against Miami, right.
I think this is one of the games we actually agree on. I think we all have the same points. We don't trust Jared Goff. I think McVay. You like McVay? You think
yes,
he's a beast?
I do. I think he's a good coach.
I think McVay was the beast a couple years ago. I think he's been figured out since.
Wow.
Yeah. Since the Super Bowl,
dude. Lost it. He's not that nice.
Listen, it's like you come in this league and then you put in your little schemes or whatever, and then you kill the league, right? And then the next year, everybody's like, "Oh, we know what you're doing now." Okay, like there's film. That's why we watch film, and you gotta always be changing. And Jared Goff at the helm, he's not. I like Jared Goff, but he's not the greatest. So I don't trust them. I don't like their new logo at all.
I think their logo's trash.
It looks like a penis.
God, I wasn't gonna go that far, but I was gonna say, damn, that's That's crazy.
Dude,
I didn't really see it like that.
Ask Eric
Wow.
Dickerson. He'll tell you the same thing.
Oh, they
look like it.
what?
You know
He
like,
said the same thing?
He said the same thing. No, like, you should go and look at the logo.
No, I will take another look at it.
Yeah, it's not.
That's crazy.
It's not the one that's on the screen right now. It's like a different type of logo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I think
but their logo's ugly anyways, right? It's hideous.
Yeah. After that, we play Miami at Miami. Win, lose.
That's a loss. I think we never play well at Miami. Whenever we go down there, I don't know what it is. The sun is too hot, and we just can't play well. I think Tua is gonna be. I think Tua might be starting that game. And
he should.
You don't think Fitzpatrick will still be there?
No, this is at the end of the season. I think Tua.
But Miami still maybe be able to have a good enough record to keep Fitzpatrick on there.
I don't know, man. Fitzpatrick, he does well for a few games, and then he goes back to backup status again, man. He's streaky, and then boom, back. I mean,
my prediction is.
Go ahead.
My prediction is that Tua will be starting by that point, and I think we just don't do well down there in South Beach, and I think we're gonna lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I think we're gonna end up losing this game. Miami's just one of those places where the Pats just like always seem to struggle and not be able to get a win. Like, I don't know what it is with the Miami. I don't know, maybe the guys live the B-Money lifestyle too much down there in South Beach, Miami. I know it's a great place, to do that, and it's a lot of fun. But I mean, also the heat that is a factor, particularly late in the season, because we're used to playing colder weather games late in the season. So I feel like when we usually do have those games where we have to go to a warmer climate later in the season, like in Miami, perfect example, we don't typically do as well. So I think that will certainly be a factor. And yeah, I think certainly I don't think we'll lose. I don't think we'll win both games against Miami in the division. I think Miami will win the second game, on their home field. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going against both of you guys. I think we win.
So we sweep in Miami next year?
Yeah, I think we sweep Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I say that because we have lost in Miami. We don't play well in Miami for some reason, and I think that's only since we've had Tom Brady playing. All right, and I think maybe something was in Tom Brady's head because he played garbage a lot of the times we went down to Miami for some reason. All right, and I think some players, some of that stuff is in your head, man. You're like, he'll tell you himself, we don't usually play well down there. I can't tell you what it is. And then he goes down there and it's a stinker.
Up the joint.
It's a stinker.
Right. What's the bet? Exactly.
I think, with the whole aura change, I don't know. I don't know if Miami's going to have that mystique over us anymore. At least that's my hope.
But I feel like that was the team, though, as the whole didn't play well, not just him. I felt like the team doesn't really do well and doesn't have a track record for having much success in Miami. Regardless of whether Tom Brady's the quarterback or not, they just never. Miami just one of those places, just like Denver, where it's like a house so hard for them. They just seem to not be able to figure out how to get a win there.
Yeah, it's a new era, and I'm picking us to take the season. All right, and then we go back to they actually come to us, Buffalo Bills.
I think we win that game. I think these are the last two games of the season. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the last two games of the season because we play the Bills and then we play the Jets. We play both. We play both of them at home, and I think Belichick is gonna get the team focused on those two games, and he's gonna make sure they win both games at home. I think the Bills are gonna be a really tough matchup for the Patriots, and the Jets are not. I don't think the Jets are gonna be that tough of a matchup. But I think the Belichick is gonna make sure the team is prepared to win against the Bills. And then Week 17, last game of the season against the Jets, Belichick is gonna make sure the team wins that game as well. So 2 wins for me for the last 2 games of the season.
Okay. There. 2 games. 2 games.
Two games.
Bills and Jets.
Well, let's finish this season, guys. Right. So I think that Week 16 game is going to be a big game. One of the biggest games of the season could, possibly determine, who, makes the playoffs and who wins the division and who gets that, home playoff game in the first round.
Wait, do we start that playoff format this year?
Yes, we do.
With the extra teams in?
Yes, so there's going to be 7 teams in each conference, only 1 bye for each conference, and an extra wild card team.
Wow.
So instead of 2 wild card games, only 3 wild card games. So I think this will be one of the bigger games of the season for the Pats. I'll give them the edge on this one. I think that they will win the second matchup against the Bills, at home in Gillette. This will be another really tough game and one that they're really going to have to grind out and win. Since the Bills are a tough opponent, and like I said, I think certainly the best team in the division and the driver's seat to win the division. But I think certainly the Patriots have a chance to, in Week 16, beat them in that matchup. So I'll go with the Pats on that one. And then in Week 17, the Jets, like we said earlier, the Jets are straight trash, garbage, hot garbage. And that team's a joke, from the coaching to players that they have on offense and defense, and with Sam Darnold being their quarterback, I just can't take that team seriously, and I don't see them beating the Patriots and the Patriots ending the season with the loss to the Jets. That way, that's not gonna happen at all. So the Patriots will definitely win that game and finish the season strong and win the last 2 games of the season and go, and kind of build that confidence. I think Stidham will, if he's still the starter in these 2 games, I think you'll really start to see him play well and play with much more confidence and poise as we get later in the season. And particularly with, these 2 teams that they've already been played, I think he'll feel much more comfortable in these games.
Okay. I think for the Bills game, I think we lose that game just because I picked us to win the first game. And I think that's because the Bills are a good team, man. They're one of the best teams in the league right now. If you really think about it, they have a really good roster. And I don't think they lose to us 2 times this season. So I'm picking them to win just based off of that. And I really like their coach. I really like the way they're doing things, their schemes. I even like the quarterback a little bit. I think he's really athletic. He has some ability. And imagine if he actually works on his accuracy and his poise and placing the ball at the right space, we could be in trouble. So that for that reason, I picked the Bills for Week 16, and then 17, I just can't see the Jets beating us, like, no matter how hard they try or how hard we try to lose to them. I don't know. I don't trust Adam Gase once again. I think what he's doing with Le'Veon Bell is like criminal. It's like, bro, that's your bell cow, man. Exactly. Give him some freaking confidence, all right? Like, if you're going to answer questions about this guy, act like you with him. Act like he's on your team. Don't be like, well, as the general manager. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Go ask Le'Veon Bell.
You know what I'm saying? Go ask him, like, what are you doing? Like, that's not how you build a team. If this was Bill Belichick, he didn't want to talk about something, he'll say, I don't want to focus on one player. Let's talk, about other players.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that answer, right.
Yeah, I just don't trust them. And Vlad, I seen that you were taking notes. Does that mean you were taking notes as what our records would be?
Yeah, so as of right now, Barry has the Patriots as 7-9.
Yeah, 7-9. I can see that. My prediction was actually 6-10, but I think 6-10, 7-9 is right where I think they'll be this year. So they'll be just right on the borderline of making the playoffs and getting one of the last wild card spots, but I think they'll just barely be on the outside.
You think they'll be in the wild card with 6 wins or 7
No.
wins?
That they'll be like a game or two behind that.
Oh,
so
wow.
they'll miss. They'll
so you
miss
don't think
the
they're even
playoffs.
going to make that? Okay.
Right. They'll be on the outside looking in. Right. That's how I see it.
John, you have them at 10-6.
Perfect.
And I have them at 9-7.
You have them at 9-7?
I have them at 9-7.
I'm right between 9-7 and 10-6, man. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I don't think.
That's really, really
Listen,
high. And both, you really think the Pats are going to be that?
There's no way
this year. They're winning 10 games, 9 games this year.
Listen, there's no way Bill Belichick is going to let this team go under 500 for this year. All right, I don't think that happens. A lot of people think we're going to tank for Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think they'll tank, but I don't think they'll be that good. I think winning 9-10 games, I don't see that happening.
I think.
Well, guys,
that's going to be with the tough schedule we have this year. I highly doubt that the Patriots will win up to 9 games. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they do win, 9-10 games, but I just really don't see that happening. I'd be appalled if that happened. It would blow my mind if they are that successful and win that many games this season.
What you saying, Vlad?
Yeah, well, we just went through all the games and we picked who's gonna win and who's gonna lose, and based on those records, that's what we got. So I think
I understand that.
I think it's now it's up to the season. When the season starts, we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think based on what we talked about and based on the records that we put together, obviously you have the Patriots not making the playoff. John has them possibly making the playoff at 10-6, and at 9-7 we might get a wild card game.
Yeah, no, I definitely listen. I think a lot of what's going on with the Pats Nation is what every other team in the league experiences on a year in year out basis. Okay, so like we had Tom Brady, and basically as soon as our schedule came out, you could go through our schedule and say, hey, we're gonna beat the Jets, the Bills, we're gonna beat them, sweep them. Nobody says anything, right? Mm-hmm. And I think with Tom Brady leaving, the fan base has like this uncertainty, right? And I think it's like we're kind of like vulnerable now, right? We're not seen as like the invincible people. So like a lot of fans, they're down, on what's gonna happen for the season. But again, I think we still have a good team. We still have a really good defense, regardless of who left. I think we still got a good scheme, good coaches. I think the only unknown right now is the quarterback. And we've seen what Bill Belichick has done with people like Matt Castle. And, Matt Castle, was he undrafted? Wherever he came from? I think he was undrafted, right?
He might have been.
He was undrafted, came out and won 11 games. I'm not saying we're going to repeat that. What I'm saying is there's evidence there that Bill Belichick can scheme enough to like win games in the NFL.
Even on offensive, because I don't think the offense is very good.
I mean, we don't have like a trash offense, and I think
I don't think it's that good. I wouldn't say it's trash, but I think they'll struggle to score points and then to actually generate offense.
I go back to what Bill Belichick usually says. Last year was last year. It's a new year. Right.
I think
our receivers, N'Keal Harry, he's been going hard this offseason.
Hopefully he has a better year.
He's working with some of the top guys in the league as far as like positional. I think those guys are going to come back and be better players as receivers. And I think if you watch the preseason last year, again, not to put too much on the preseason, Jarrett Stidham assuming he's going to be the quarterback of the team, he had pretty good chemistry with those guys. So I don't know. I just believe that we're going to be okay. All right. But for the sake of time, let's just move on, right? Now that we got through the schedule, I think the big question this year for the NFL, the league itself, is Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. Who has the most pressure on him this year?
I think Bill Belichick has the most pressure. I think Tom Brady's legacy have been sealed. He's won 6 Super Bowl and he's 43. Even if he goes down to Tampa and suck, I think people are gonna say that Tom Brady went to Tampa at 43 years old. He was past his prime, and that's why he sucked. Bill Belichick, on the other hand, has never had a good season without Tom Brady, besides 2008 when he went 11-5. In Cleveland, he had one good season. Before Brady, he had losing records, and without Brady, he needs to show what has he learned over the last 20 years that he can win without Tom Brady. So I think for this coming year and for the next coming years, I think if Tom Brady wins a Super Bowl, unbelievable. But if he doesn't win, it's like, okay, what did you expect? The guy was 43 years old. Bill Belichick, on the other hand, if he doesn't win without Tom Brady, I think they're going to be like, yeah, Tom Brady was everything for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I certainly think Belichick has the most pressure on him of those two guys. I think really, in a sense, Tom Brady's playing with house money in Tampa Bay. Just because, yeah, they do have high expectations over there, but even if he doesn't do as well, and I think that would take a lot for him not to do as well there, since they've surrounded him with a pretty good amount of talent and playmakers. I, still think you're right. His legacy in his career is pretty much, established, and he doesn't have anything else to prove. He's done, more than any player in this league could ever imagine them ever doing in their careers playing in the NFL. So I think that he's certainly already, done everything, you could possibly want to do, and as a player, and as already, going to be on the GOAT regardless of what he does in Tampa. Meanwhile, with Bill Belichick, he hasn't coached many games without Tom Brady, but we really don't know exactly, how good he can be without Tom Brady. Yeah, he had that one season of where he won 11-5 with, Matt Castle, and they just barely missed the playoffs that year. I don't know how they didn't make the playoffs on 11-5, but but they still had a successful season. So but now we have to figure out if that success with, can he still do the same thing with Tom Brady or without Tom Brady this season. I think we'll definitely be able to tell whether he is, inept to, to do that and have that success without having TB12 as his quarterback. So I think definitely Belichick has a lot more to prove, and a lot more pressure going on him into this season.
For me, I think the pressure is the same on both sides.
Right? Wow, really?
Yeah.
You think Tom has pressure?
Yeah. I think Vlad said that Tom Brady, he doesn't have anything else to prove. What the hell does Bill Belichick have to prove? The guy has 8 rings.
But most of those were with Tom as his quarterback.
Yeah.
Tom was his quarterback. He hasn't shown that he can win without Tom Brady.
Bill Walsh has the most championships with Joe Montana. Nobody says anything about that. Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman, nobody says anything.
Yeah,
I just think that that's unfair, for Bill Belichick to to be the one that has like the most pressure on him because he hasn't won without Tom Brady. Tom Brady hasn't won without Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Like, people forget, like, you haven't won anything without Bill Belichick. So how is it the pressure is going to be less on you now, right? So, like, now you got to go down there and prove. You made the choice to leave.
No, I think Bill wanted him to leave. And Bill, pretty much the writing was on the wall that Bill didn't want Tom here, and Bill was trying to push him out in New England and didn't want to work with a 43-year-old quarterback on his roster. So,
I think if Tom Brady wanted to stay here, Bill, he would have been here. Like Robert Kraft was saying. Like, I don't think there's anything Bill Belichick could have did, for him to convince Robert Kraft, like, I'm just going to get rid of him even though he wants to be here. I don't think
Belichick wanted him here anymore. Still, I get what you're saying.
I don't think he wanted him here a while ago with Jimmy. That's why he gave up Jimmy for a second-round pick, because he was pissed off. Like, you're really going to make me, give up the future of the franchise, for a couple of years? I think that's where he was. He was pissed off and gave up Jimmy for a second-round pick. Bill Belichick has 8 rings, man. And like you were saying, he had a good season in Cleveland, right? He had one good season? Okay, how many other coaches
he had a good season in Cleveland? I thought he was terrible in Cleveland.
He had one good season.
He went to the playoff once in Cleveland.
Okay, how many coaches in Cleveland has gone to the playoffs? That's had a good season in Cleveland.
Not any, as far as I can remember.
As far as I can remember, not many. So like, how is it, we're just like, we keep going back to, remember, he didn't do nothing in Cleveland. Nobody does anything in Cleveland. They had one of the best offenses last year. They don't do shit.
Right,
So
that's because their coach sucks.
The location sucks. The organization sucks. The leadership sucks. And I think, you can only be so good as a coach, right? And come on.
I disagree with you, John, because the reason why I think Belichick has more to prove is not because obviously Belichick has won 8 championships, and I think his legacy is like an unbelievable legacy, and he's gonna go down. He's gonna go down as one of the best coaches to ever coach. But I think when people talk about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, I think when that conversation is happening, people always say who's been winning those Super Bowls, and I think if Belichick doesn't win over the next couple of years, I think people are gonna say it was all Tom Brady. On the other hand, if Tom Brady doesn't win, people are just gonna say he's too old. That's what they're gonna say. They're not gonna say it's because he doesn't have Bill Belichick. They're gonna say he's too old.
I think they're gonna say both. That he's too old and he doesn't have the decision making of Bill Belichick behind him. Because like he said, hey, if he wouldn't be as good without me, and I don't think he's gonna be he wouldn't be as good without me as I would be without him. That's what he said. I just don't think, like, in my mind, I don't put more pressure on Bill Belichick because, like, the guy, he's accomplished. He's probably the smartest coach in the league, and he's gonna make good decisions. You can give him the decisions to make, and he's gonna do the best decisions for the team at all times. So, I think if Tom Brady goes where he's at with all loaded weapons, okay, a loaded offense, and doesn't do anything, that's gonna be big. Like, was Bill Belichick right? Was he right to, like, start the plan to bring in somebody else to replace Tom Brady? Or if Tom Brady wins, I don't know, 14 games this year, then and that's really something. I don't see that, but
I want to say one last thing about this, and you guys can say your points, and we can move on. The last thing I want to say is I went through the Bucs schedule for this year. I had them at 13-3 compared to compared to Bill Belichick at 9-7. I think Belichick is gonna have a lot to prove over the next couple of years.
You think Bill Belichick is what?
It's gonna have a lot to prove over the next couple of years.
I don't know. I think both of them have a lot to prove. Brady said that stuff to himself. I have a lot to prove to myself. So let's see if they can win without each other. But as far as pressure goes, I feel like it should be it should be equal because they're both not playing with each other. They're playing without each other for the first time. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. But with that said, who will have the better season based on their schedule? I think we can all agree that the Bucs will have the better season, right?
Yeah, I already chimed in on that. I don't know if you want to chime in on that, Barry.
Yeah, I think certainly the Bucs will be, definitely record-wise, much better than the Patriots. As I predicted, I think the Patriots are going to be, close to 500 team, or possibly a little bit under 500. I think the Bucs will probably win, 11, 12 games. They'll be right there with the Saints for the division and possibly able to, win a division and be one of the top seeds in the NFC and be a Super Bowl contender. I think the Patriots are far from that and aren't at that level just quite yet. So I think definitely the Bucs, not only do they have a good offense, but I think their defense is still pretty good as well. And they've, certainly added a couple of pieces like a Dominican School that they also added someone else, another free agent. So I think the defense is young, but they're improving and getting better. And with that being said, I think that, the team is going to be a lot more successful than the Patriots, since the Patriots are, we're going to be going through some growing pains, of this season with, the schedule that they have and, and also with, the new players that are going to be playing bigger roles that haven't, had that kind of experience just quite yet. So I think the, Bucs will be far more successful than the New England Patriots this upcoming season.
Well, yeah, they've set up Tom Brady pretty well down there. With those,
they've done everything.
Those dome games, so
in the warmer weather,
right,
as well. So Tom Brady's definitely going to be
he's gonna have
happy and enjoying playing in warm weather and dome games and not have to worry about the cold weather up here in New England. So I'm sure that's partially why he wanted to go over there to Tampa and play in that division.
Yeah. Speaking of setups, right? Earl Thomas's wife set him up this week. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh yeah. I sure heard about that.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I definitely heard about that. I don't really want to get into what happened with him and his wife. I think when I saw the story, I honestly didn't even click on it. I saw it and I saw what happened, but I don't know. That's his private life with his wife. I don't have an opinion on him cheating. I'm not a cheater, but I'm not gonna get what'd you say?
Bros.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I said the Smash Bros.
Yeah, I just don't have an opinion on that, or I don't really care about that. The only part that I cared about was when they started talking about the Ravens possibly releasing him. And I thought that was interesting, and I read up on that a little bit. And apparently last year he was freelancing a lot on defense.
Yep, I read that.
And he wasn't on the same page with his other teammates, and sometimes he wasn't ready to play. And I think the Ravens had an issue with him. And I think the Ravens was gonna use that incident to release him. But I think they have decided against releasing him, so they will keep him. So I think we'll see. He had a good season last year. He was a Pro Bowler. He just wasn't exactly what the Ravens wanted him to be. So we'll see. Now that they kept him on the roster, we'll see if he has a better year this year.
Yeah, no, that whole thing was funny. And as you guys know, we're on social media on Instagram, ProFans_sports. Follow us. All right, subscribe to YouTube. When the story first hit, I read into it, but I decided not to repost it because I feel like we're not a gossip podcast. Like, listen, shit happens, especially with these NFL players. I definitely thought it was a big story because, like, dude, there's a gun involved and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm not TMZ. I don't need to get into like his wife and what he was doing with his brother and all that stuff. That's, you know, those guys are rich, and I'm sure a lot of that crap goes on with a lot of those guys. So, you know, I don't think that's my place to be commenting, but you know, that's definitely something that if that happened on the Patriots, he probably gets released or something, right?
Yeah, definitely. He'd be gone
no matter
in a
what.
heartbeat. You know, Bill has no tolerance for that and wouldn't.
I don't know.
So, no, I don't think he.
I just think with the climate of things, like the Me Too stuff, you know, with the whole Aaron Hernandez stuff that happened with us, I think we've just been like, we're avoiding all this crazy stuff.
I don't know, because Michael Floyd, the wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals a couple of years ago, they found him pretty much drunk on the street.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
You didn't know what.
And the Patriots picked him up the next week. So I don't know. I think because he didn't get charged, he didn't commit a crime himself, I think the Patriots probably would have looked the other way.
You know, I don't totally disagree, because, you know, they did catch a lot of coke at Patrick Chung's house last year, and nobody says anything about that. So,
and then they ended up getting dismissed.
It ended up getting dismissed because, like, they went into his house without warrants and stuff like that. So, you know, so whatever they found, they can't really use for anything. So it had to be dismissed. But I don't know. I could see it either way. I could see Bill Belichick being like, "No, you're gone." But in the other hand, Earl Thomas is a pretty
damn good player. He's, I think, the best safety in the league in the NFL.
One of the best safeties in the league for sure.
I think he's definitely in the league safe, but I'd probably give him the edge. Like, I like D-Mac, Devin McCourty a lot. That's my guy. Like, I'm a big fan of his. He's a really good safety at what he does, but I think Earl Thomas is probably like the most complete safety and can do like everything. Like, this guy has like no weakness, and his only weakness, I think, is, you know, his injuries, freelancing and, you know, injuries and not being able to, you know, stay healthy. But I mean, when he's healthy, I don't think there's a safety that's better than him and that's better at what he does in the league.
Right. I don't want to keep talking on it, keep harping on it, you know, for the sake of time. But
right. I just wanted to say
Earl Thomas,
that.
I think you're on a short leash. So I get what you're saying, Barry. I think he's definitely on a short leash, and he should just. He's getting older too, so you're not a spring chicken no more. So cut the stuff out, man. You can't choose now that, you know, your career's on at the, you know, the latter part of his career to be acting up like that. You know,
facts. It was definitely.
If you had told me that story and told me to pick a play that would happen to, I would never pick Earl Thomas. You know?
Yeah,
me either. I didn't even know he was like that too. Yeah, he seemed like a pretty like chill and, you know, responsible, mature kind of, you know, person, you know, and would conduct himself that way off the, you know, field and you know, and not really get into any trouble or get himself into any situations like that. So I was pretty stunned and very surprised when, you know, I heard about the news and, you know, what happened with, you know, him and his family and his wife. But I think that, you know, I think, you know, it'll definitely, you know, be, you know, probably get, you know, dismissed or something like that, and it was probably just a misunderstanding. So, yeah, we'll see how he does when he get back. I don't think it'll really affect him, his play on the field, and he'll still, you know, continue to play at a high level and be an elite safety in this league.
All right, yeah, he's rich. You know, he don't have nothing to worry about. So, good luck to Earl. All right, that was a crazy way to end the NFL season, right? I mean, not the NFL season, the week in NFL this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that whole stuff going on.
Right.
But I think that's going to be it for us as far as like the NFL goes this week.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to move into the NBA. So there's not much going on other than The Last Dance right now. You guys saw last week's episodes?
Yes.
Real quick, anything you guys wanted to highlight?
Yeah, I saw episode 5 and 6. Nothing that I wanted to highlight myself. I just think, like everybody else, we saw that Isaiah Thomas didn't get into the dream team, and I think I didn't know about that whole friction between him and Jordan, and how a lot of the guys on the team just didn't like him. Like Magic didn't like him. Basically, everybody on the guy just didn't like him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it is what it is.
No, absolutely. I definitely thought that was pretty interesting as far as, what caused that friction between not only MJ and Isaiah, but pretty much the rest of the dream team. Like all those guys, didn't want anything to do with Isaiah Thomas and didn't want to play with him on the team. So I thought, that was pretty, fascinating that, they all, had that kind of hatred and despised him to that extent. I thought another cool thing about that episode, one of the episodes, I think it was on episode 6, they talk about the relationship that Kobe and MJ had and how like it was a big brother, little brother relationship, and how much like Kobe looked up to MJ and how like he would always ask him for advice, and like how he always wanted to be like MJ and like pretty much modeled his game and his career after MJ. So I thought that was a really pretty, bittersweet and pretty cool thing that I got away from that episode, and I certainly enjoyed, while watching those, two guys, go at it and watching Kobe give the, respect to, MJ and think of him in that light.
Yeah. Only thing I mean, documentary is great. Like I've been saying every week since we've been talking about it. I'm learning a lot. One of the biggest things for me was I was dying about this because I think this was a big deal all week. Michael Jordan did not allow Horace Grant to eat after bad games, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
all right, listen,
wow, damn.
I know things were pretty serious back in the day as far as like the sporting world goes and how serious guys were about winning and stuff like that. But you're not gonna stop me from eating that.
Right, that's crazy. How can you not stop another grown man from eating?
I don't care.
I don't get and understand that. Like I get, Michael Jordan's a competitor at the highest level, and can't stand losing and wants to win every single time he steps on the court. But still, like that's way extreme and way too harsh and going overboard. Yeah, like I don't get why you would not want your teammate to eat even after having a bad game. Like everybody has bad games. No one's gonna play well every single game. Michael Jordan had bad games. So for that to happen and for him to not let Horace Grant eat after bad game is just absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
That was wild.
Yeah, it was. I was appalled by that as well. That was unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the documentary is great. Another episode coming out tonight. Right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Episode 7 and 8.
Is that the last one, or is that?
No, the next week is the last one because it's 10 episodes, so this is the second to last.
Yeah, other than that, another NBA news. Giannis, the Greek freak, man. Let's just say the Greek freak. Giannis. Yes. Some people say Giannis. Some people say
right.
Gian. It's the Greek freak. Okay.
Right. Keep it simple.
This dude got hacked this week. All right. And when he got hacked, somebody wrote, "Hey everybody, I'm back and would like to address it." Is that what he said? Is that his statement?
Yeah, that's his apology after he got hacked.
Yeah. So this dude got hacked over the week. And somebody was basically messing with him, talking bad about his teammates, saying that he was gonna go into he was gonna sign with Golden State. That would be messed up.
Yeah,
and they talk trash about his teammates, like it was him writing. And he had to come out and say that he got hacked, and his girlfriend had to come out and be like, "Yo, he got hacked." You know what I'm saying? So it's not him writing all this ridiculous stuff. So I thought that was crazy. He came out with an apology after. He said, "Hey, everybody, I'm back and would like to address a social media incident from earlier today. I was hacked and the situation currently being investigated. The tweets and posts were extremely inappropriate, and I am so disappointed and disgusted that somebody would say the terrible things that were said. I feel terrible that the Bucks, Chris, LeBron, and the Curry family were included in the malicious and untrue tweets. I feel especially terrible for the Bryant family during their time of grief. They should not be subjected to this type of negativity and foul behavior. Thank you all for always supporting my family and I, and please stay safe." You know, so I mean, when I seen this stuff going on, I didn't think it was Giannis anyway. That's not his character. You know, if that was Kevin Durant, I'd be like, there might be something there.
Yeah,
but
it's true. I'm sure you would think a whole lot differently, right, if it was KD as opposed to Giannis, since KD has a track record and previous history of doing this kind of stuff with all those burner accounts.
Yeah, he still has a bunch of them.
Right.
So that was crazy. Well, it wasn't too crazy, but that was interesting. It's an interesting thing that happened over the week.
Yeah, when I read over the tweets, I was like, yeah, that's definitely not Giannis. It's not. Yeah. It's not his character. But I felt really bad for the Bryant family. You know what I mean? They're going through whatever they're going through, and for people to be talking about them like that and using such foul language, I thought it was terrible. But obviously, we all knew it wasn't Giannis. So I think the statement he put out was great, and I think it's over with.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
facts. Other than that, and the NBA will not make a decision on a comeback until June. So I think that's a good thing. You know, just wait on it. Don't rush into stuff. You know, I think they're different than the NFL because they start over in September, so they can say what they say for now. Because states are reopening back up, but I think that's good for the NBA. Other than NBA news, Nuggets, Cavs, Trailblazers have opened their training facilities, which is pretty cool. So does that mean a couple players at a time or the whole team?
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what their new setup is. I actually don't know anything about it at all.
Okay.
I just knew that they opened their facilities, so I'm sure they're having the players, maybe a couple players come in or something.
Yeah. I think that was their initial plan for like every team. You know, when they open, they're not going to have too many people in the buildings and stuff like that.
Right.
But those places are usually huge, so they definitely will have a lot of people in those buildings, regardless of players being in there or not, because they got to operate.
Yeah, I think only like a few players can be in there at a time, something like that. Like obviously, there's a limit to the amount of people that can be in the gym at once, and then obviously they, you'd have to, do that social distance, like keep the 6 feet and all that, and and then I'm sure with each player there'll also be like someone like rebounding for them too, but they're still trying to limit and minimize the amount of people that are in the facility and with the players.
Couple coaches, couple players, it should be good.
I don't think any coaches can come in as far as I know. It's probably like the team staff that would be able to like work with the guys.
We'll see. Other news: NBA will open without fans in 2020 and maybe in 2021. That remains to be seen. So we'll just keep monitoring that and keep you guys updated as best as we can. Other than that, that's it for the NBA. For soccer, I know Vlad, you've done the research on that. You want to let us know what's up with that?
Yeah, a couple of soccer leagues, some of the big soccer leagues are starting to come back. The Bundesliga in Germany, they're coming back this Friday. Friday, they're going to start playing. So there's going to be...
How do you know about all these freaking leagues, man?
Yeah, dude.
Like, there's so many leagues. How do you keep up, bro?
Right.
I don't know.
This guy loves soccer, man. I do too, but there's way too many leagues, man.
Yeah, they're coming back this Friday, so I'm excited for that. It's going to be some live sports for me to watch. I still don't think it's going to happen, but if this is going to happen, I'm going to wait for it.
They have 5 games this coming Friday? Is that what you're saying?
They're going to have games this coming Friday.
Wow. Is that, when are they going to be, you know, where they're going to be broadcast on? Because I'd actually be interested in watching that, because I'm dying as everyone else in this world to watch some live sports on TV.
I believe they are broadcasted on Fox Sports, FS1.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Nice. Cool.
Or you can reach out to Vlad to get the streaming stuff.
Right, facts. Yeah, I'll have to hit him up on that.
If there's any fans out there that want to watch soccer, man, hit us up on Gmail. Again, it's profansports1@gmail.com, and we'll guide you to where you need to go to get the soccer games.
A couple more things. The Champions League is supposedly coming back in August. And the players from the Spanish league, La Liga, they came back to training this week. They've tested a lot of different players. Every team tested all their players, especially Barcelona. None of their players came back positive. All their players came back negative. So they're training. They're training this week to hopefully come back by the end of the month.
Good for them, man.
Oh, cool.
Good
Great.
for them. Anything else as far as soccer?
Oh, that's it, man.
Oh, nice, man. Hey, fellas, I think we got episode 8 wrapped up, man. You know what I mean? So
yes, you should do. This is a great way to celebrate E-Money's birthday.
E-Money's birthday, baby.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. This was a good one. I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, so if you stayed on and listened to the podcast, man, again, thank you so much.
Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for your support. You know, if you want to support us, like we said, you know, get back on Anchor, and there's donate buttons. Catch us on YouTube. Just YouTube Pro Fan Sports, and our videos will pop up. You know, subscribe to us. Get our merch, man.
Right there, yes, sir.
/people/ProFanSports.
Get those shirts. Yes, sir.
So just follow us on social media, man, and connect with us and help us grow. And again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week. All right, fellas. Thank you guys for coming through.
All right. Peace out.
Guys, appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day again, all those mothers out there.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again, Barry.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Vlad.
All right, bros.